Hey guys, the boring traveler here again. I know it's been a while, and this is something I've been thinking about. Like, could I just have something going on my YouTube channel that's not like the travel videos? Because travel videos are nice, but it takes the time to film, and I have to travel, and there's just a lot going. So I was like, okay, is there anything I can do that might still keep you guys engaged and would still provide value? So I'm just gonna try these out, see if people like them, but. Today I'm just going to be explaining a tool I like to use called Flight Connections. This idea came to me because recently I was trying to help my aunt book a trip from America to Brazil, and so she had heard that she could use which airline was this? It was the South American one. Um, I forgot what it's called again. But I'm gonna remember when I use Flight Connections. But yeah, so I think it was like what was it, Loma, Coma, something like that, and she was trying to figure out, okay, where in the US could she take that from? Because if you think about it, it's like, okay, if you're like, oh, I want to get from here to Brazil, that's nice and all. The first thing you might do is just go to Google Flights and then see what's there. But let's say you want to use like points, right? So you could go to like Seats Aero or Points here as well, which is usually what most people do. But even then, like sometimes they're not showing like everything, right? Like for example, right, they only show the flights that are available today, for example, right? So something like, so you wouldn't know, like, if let's say the flight is not available today and it's going to be available tomorrow, you wouldn't really know what to look out for. Does that make sense? Let me see if I can illustrate it, right? So basically you go to something like let me make sure this is working. So here we go. So we go to so let's say you go to seats.aero, right? So let's go to seats.aero. Then it shows you basically, okay, let's say today is 12, right? December 12th or something. This is just a random, like, I just picked a random day. Say it's December 12th. Then you see, oh, there's a flight on BA today. You see there's a flight on AA. BA is British Airways. AA is American Airways. There's a flight on UA, United Airlines, right? You see all flights. Let's say you look the next day, right? 12/13. You see same thing. There's a flight on BA. There's a flight on AA. Let's say there's a flight on UA as well. And then let's add one more. Let's say there's a flight on Qatar, QR. So if you came and you just looked on 12/12, right? Let's say you didn't look on 12/13, you wouldn't know that QR flies from, let's say we're going from, I didn't even put a location. Let's say we're going from JFK in New York to, I don't know, somewhere random, London, right? I don't know why you'd go to Qatar. Yeah, anyway. So let's say you're going from JFK to London Heathrow, and you check on 12/12, you would see that British Airways flies there, AA, American Airlines flies there, United Airlines flies there. But unless you go ahead and you check on 12/13, you wouldn't know that Qatar also flies there. And so what if you actually have a lot of Qatar points and you would have preferred to fly Qatar rather than any of these other ones, right? This is getting really messy. You wouldn't have known that because you didn't check the other dates. I guess it's the only day you can fly. That's fine. And availability changes and stuff, but you just don't know, right? So the good thing with Flight Connections is that it bridges that gap. So I'm just gonna go over here so you guys don't have to see my terrible drawings anymore. And this is what Flight Connections looks like. So basically, I'll use the same example I like New York to London, right? So this is the easiest way I like to use it, right? I would just literally put the airport I want to go from. And then the airport I want to fly to. And it then shows you here on the left, British Airways, American Airlines, Delta, JetBlue, Virgin. So these are all the possible airlines I could fly from JFK to London Heathrow. That's pretty neat. You get all of that information in one go just by doing that. Let's look at another thing I also like to do, right? Let's say I just need to get to London from anywhere in the US. I don't really care where. I just need to know like which airports I should even check, because that could be another problem. So let me come back to here just to describe this issue, right? So let's say you're like, the only thing you really care about is saying you want to get to London Heathrow. Getting to London Heathrow is the only thing you care about. But you can go anywhere from the East Coast, right? So we'll just call this EST, to London Heathrow. But you don't know which airports on the East Coast have flights to London Heathrow, right? There's no way, like, even if you have seats.aero or points here, it doesn't give you that information. I mean, they have some stuff, yeah, but like generally, it's not that easy to find. So you're just like, okay, I can go for anywhere from East Coast or maybe anywhere in the whole of the USA, right? You want to get to London Heathrow. Which airports do you check? And so basically, you come to Flight Connections and then you just type in, okay, you want to get to London Heathrow, and then you can see, okay, I can go from Boston, New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, BWI, Raleigh, where else, Charlotte. So there are a lot of places on the East Coast you can go, but it's really nice to be able to get all of this information in one go. And one thing you can also see is some are light blue, some are dark blue. So if you click on the light blue ones, everything is always on the left here, right? It shows you this is what it looks like. So you can go from British Airways from BWI to London Heathrow. Another one you can see here. This one has more options. I think the light blue might mean that it's gonna end soon. I don't particularly remember what that means, but it doesn't matter. And then you guys can see here, this one is yellow, right? Yellow means there's no direct route, so you have to go through another like stop to get to your destination. That's really what it means. Okay, so that's a quick primer on just like how it's useful, how it works. I guess I also did a tutorial. I guess the last thing I want to quickly touch is like why how does this relate to world travel, right? So for example, again, let's say I'm like, okay, I need to get to London Heathrow from anywhere in or let me use a better example, because London Heathrow, there's so many options, it doesn't even give you a good example. Let me pick something like Sao Paulo, right? So that's GRU. So I'm like, okay, I want to get to Sao Paulo from the US. Where can I go? You see, if we zoom in here, there aren't that many options, right? Like I can go from Chicago, Atlanta, Toronto, New York. So let's say I have a lot of points in Alaska, right? And I'm like, okay, I live in New York. Like, which airline can I use? So I can see United don't partner with Alaska, so that's a no-go. So no point of checking there. I'll check DC. Same thing. United is the only option there. Okay. New York. Okay. So I can see from JFK, American Airlines, and LATAM. LATAM was the thing I was thinking of. LATAM also goes, but that ends in March. So I know American Airlines and LATAM are both in Alaska. So I can check that from New York. I can look at Atlanta as well and see, okay, only Delta. Cool. Maybe I'm willing to go down to Florida. I see LATAM from Orlando and from Miami. Okay, cool. So now, right, we now have this information that from JFK, from Orlando, I don't think Orlando is even like that. And then from Miami, we can use AA or LATAM. So now we're trying to get from the US to Sao Paulo, which is GRU. Now we already have 3 options, which again, we wouldn't have, like, how would I even know like which airports to go from before like Flight Connection? That would be kind of tough to figure that out. So now I can come here and be like, okay, give me a one-way ticket from JFK to oh wait, I didn't click that. From JFK to GRU. Maybe use some miles and I don't know. We want to go on the 16th, right? So now I know, okay, let's say I want to go on the 14th. AA, right? So you see it matches up. All AA flights, right? Let's say I want to go from Miami, so we can check what we see there. We should see some LATAM flights now if we do this as well. Right, so we see AA again. Is there any LATAM? Let me see. Is there any LATAM? No LATAM right now. Let me see. If I Yeah, I guess the Latam availability can be a little bit hard to find. That's fair. Let's say let me try this. Let me say I wanna let me say I wanna go from uh Orlando, maybe. That will have some Latam availability. MTO, okay, that's what it is, yeah. I said Aura. I wonder where Aura is. Okay, still no Latam availability. Maybe you know what we should do is we should look further away because it might be too close. So let me change the search and then let me look in like September or something. Yeah, you see. So here now we see availability on the time. So that's basically the beauty of flight connections. Um, I I hope this tutorial has been somewhat useful. Let me know if you guys like this format. If you guys think me breaking down some of like the tools and strategies I use to travel might be helpful. And I guess I'll see you next time.